solar system. The Sun and the planets in orbit around it make up the solar system. The planets, which are drawn to the Sun by gravity, are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. The Sun is far more massive than any of the planets. The Earth. The Earth is one of planets that travel around the Sun in the solar system. Of these planets, the Earth is the third nearest to the Sun. It is the only planet known to support life. Almost 5 billion years ago, within a disk of material spinning around the Sun, a cloud of gas and dust began to condense into a solid mass, the young Earth. At first, this mass was very cold, but later it was melted as a result of the heat generated by radioactivity. Heavy metals collected at the center of the Earth, and rocks floated near the surface. After millions of years, the rocks formed a hard crust, and the oceans and the atmosphere appeared.
These satellite pictures show the Earth's land masses and oceans and the blankets of gases called the atmosphere that surround the Earth. Out in space, satellites constantly circle the Earth, sending pictures of cloud patterns to local weather stations and providing worldwide communication links. This balloon satellite, called ECHO, was launched by NASA in 1960 as part of a pioneering communications experiment.
The Big Bang. Most scientists believe that the universe was born about 15 billion years ago in a colossal explosion called the Big Bang. No one knows exactly what happened, but it is thought that the universe formed from a tiny, dense, intensely hot center. The young universe began to expand rapidly, and within minutes, the first atomic nuclei formed. Over billions of years, this matter began to cluster together and develop into the first galaxies.
The common frog returns to water to mate and lay hundreds of eggs. Each egg is covered in jelly, which the tadpole feeds on before hatching after 10 days or so. Over the next 3 months, the plant-eating tadpole grows and changes color, gradually developing back legs and then front legs. Finally, it loses its tail to become a little frog, which moves onto land and grows to reach its adult size. Some complex behaviors, such as nest building in weaver birds, are innate. Male birds are programmed from birth to build elaborate nests, which help them attract a mate. The males collect long strands of grass and weave them together to form a loop. Further material is added to form the roof, and finally, the entrance. Chimpanzees, however, learn many of their skills during the early years of their lives. This young chimp is watching its mother use a tool to crack open nuts. As it grows older, it will start to imitate this behavior, and eventually, with practice, it will succeed. A coral reef is a good example of the variety of life on our planet. Many different types of fish share this habitat with shrimps, clams, sea slugs, and seaweeds, as well as the corals that form the basis of the reef. Corals, which are related to sea anemones and jellyfish, are found in clean, warm seawater that is shallow enough to let plenty of sunlight reach them. Hummingbirds are one of the few birds that are able to hover and fly backwards. Because of their flying skills, they can dip into flowers to feed in a perfectly controlled way. They dip their bills right into the flower and extend their long, hollow tongues to suck out the nectar. The giant tortoises of the Galapagos Islands have different shaped shells, which can be used to identify which island they come from. On Hood Island, the tortoises have saddleback shells that enable them to reach for leaves. On Santa Cruz, the tortoises have low, rounded shells that help them push their way through thick vegetation. Darwin, the English naturalist who first proposed the theory of natural selection, concluded that the common ancestor of the tortoises evolved into the distinct form seen today when the islands became isolated from each other by water. When oil leaks from a damaged sea tanker, large slicks form on the surface of the water. The oil is washed up on coastlines, causing extensive pollution. Some seabirds are trapped and their feathers coated in oil, while others, mistaking the oil for water, are poisoned as they try to dive for food. Some birds can be saved by cleaning their plumage and releasing them into unpolluted areas. However, many others die as habitats where they